Imagine a world where a single man's charisma, larger-than-life persona, and unrelenting passion transformed a niche sport into a global phenomenon. That man was Terry Bollea, known to millions as Hulk Hogan, whose death at 71 on Thursday sent shockwaves through the wrestling world and beyond. World Wrestling Entertainment WWE confirmed the news, leaving fans, peers, and a legacy that spans decades to grapple with the loss of a true icon. What made Hulk Hogan the cornerstone of professional wrestling's golden age, and how did his triumphs and controversies shape an industry that still echoes his name? Let's step into the ring of his remarkable life and uncover the story of the man who let Hulkamania run wild. According to WWE, Bollea passed away in his Clearwater, Florida, home after emergency personnel responded to a cardiac arrest call. Despite efforts by fire and rescue crews, he was pronounced dead at Morton Plant Hospital. Authorities noted no signs of foul play, though an investigation remains ongoing, as reported by TMZ. The wrestling world now mourns a figure whose 24-inch pythons, signature bandana, and rallying cry to say your prayers and eat your vitamins defined an era. In the early 1980s, professional wrestling was a fragmented, regional spectacle, far from the global juggernaut it would become. Enter Terry Bollea, a towering, charismatic blonde whose vibrant energy and chiseled physique stood out in a sea of stoic grapplers. Wrestling in the American Wrestling Alliance and catching Hollywood's eye with a cameo in Rocky III, Bollea's move to the then World Wrestling Federation, WWF, now WWE, in 1983 was a game-changer. Under Vince McMahon's vision, Bollea became Hulk Hogan, a superhero-like figure who captivated audiences with his yellow and red attire and electrifying presence. Hogan's first WWF Championship win in January 1984 marked the dawn of Hulkamania, a cultural phenomenon that propelled wrestling into mainstream entertainment. His feuds with legends like Rowdy Roddy Piper, Andre the Giant, and Macho Man Randy Savage were more than matches, they were epic narratives that turned arenas into cauldrons of emotion. The body slam heard round the world against Andre at WrestleMania III in 1987 remains one of wrestling's most iconic moments, cementing Hogan as the sport's biggest star. His partnership with Mr. T at the inaugural WrestleMania in 1985 and the formation of the Mega Powers with Savage further solidified his crossover appeal, making him a household name through appearances in films, TV, and even his animated series, Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling. By the mid-1990s, Hogan's real American persona was wearing thin. In a bold move, he joined World Championship Wrestling WCW in 1994, seeking to challenge WWF's dominance. Then came 1996, when Hogan shocked the wrestling world by turning heel, forming the New World Order NWO with Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. As Hollywood Hulk Hogan, he traded his heroic image for a villainous edge, spitting vitriol at fans and sparking a ratings war known as the Monday Night Wars. For 83 weeks, WCW outshone WWF, largely due to Hogan's magnetic presence. However, the infamous finger poke of doom in 1999, where Nash dramatically fell after a poke from Hogan, exposed wrestling's scripted nature in a way that alienated fans. The moment marked the beginning of WCW's decline, culminating in WWE purchasing its rival in 2001. Hogan's return to WWE in 2002 was a triumphant homecoming, highlighted by an unforgettable clash with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson at WrestleMania X8, where 68,000 fans in Toronto's Skydome roared in a historic showdown. Hogan's career wasn't without turbulence. His stint with Total Nonstop Action, TNA, from 2010 to 2013 failed to replicate his earlier success, as the focus on aging stars frustrated younger talent. More significantly, a 2015 scandal rocked his legacy when a leaked sex tape revealed him using racial slurs, including the N-word, in reference to his daughter Brooke's dating life. WWE swiftly terminated his contract, and his public image took a severe hit. Bollea apologized, stating, "8 years ago, I used offensive language during a conversation. It was unacceptable. There is no excuse for it." The fallout led to a high-profile lawsuit against Gawker, which had published the tape, resulting in a $115 million judgment that bankrupted the outlet, a pivotal moment in media law. Hogan's return to WWE in 2019 was met with mixed reactions. While some fans cheered the nostalgia, others, including wrestlers like Titus O'Neil and Seth Rollins, expressed disappointment over his apology's perceived lack of sincerity. O'Neil, on Busted Open Radio in 2019, called the apology inconsistent, while Rollins, on the Outta Pocket with RG3 podcast, criticized Hogan's inability to fully grasp the impact of his actions. In the months before his death, Hogan was set to launch Real American Freestyle, a wrestling promotion focused on traditional, Olympic-style wrestling rather than WWE's theatrical flair. The company's CEO, Chad Bronstein, mourned Hogan as a champion whose vision for wrestling as a brotherhood and proving ground inspired the venture. The inaugural event, planned for August 30th, now stands as a bittersweet tribute to his enduring passion. Hogan's final public moment came at the 2024 Republican National Convention, where he ripped off his shirt to reveal a Trump Vance tank top, calling Donald Trump his hero. A longtime friend of Trump, who was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2013, Hogan's endorsement was inspired by Trump's resilience after an assassination attempt. Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance paid tribute to Hogan, with Trump calling him a great friend and Vance lamenting a missed chance to share a beer. Hulk Hogan's impact on wrestling is immeasurable. He turned a regional pastime into a global empire, becoming its most recognizable face. From action figures to reality TV shows like Hogan Knows Best, his influence transcended the ring. Yet, his legacy is complex, marred by controversies that challenged his real American image. For every fan chanting Hulkamania, there were others who felt betrayed by his missteps. As the wrestling world reflects on Terry Bollea's life, it's clear he was more than a performer, he was a cultural force. His ability to captivate, whether as a hero or villain, redefined an industry. Though his final years were tinged with controversy, his contributions to wrestling's golden era and its mainstream ascent remain undeniable. Hulk Hogan may have left the ring for the last time, but the echoes of Hulkamania will run wild forever.